We now move on to one of the most intellectually engaging segments of Quantum Qubit 2025, the panel discussion. Today's panel is centered around a theme both forward-looking and nationally significant, India in 2047. This session brings together a remarkable set of individuals whose work spans research, innovation, and real-world impact across science and technology. We'll begin by introducing the panelists that have joined us in person. I request Father Rector and Simsil to please come on the stage. Our first panelist for today is Dr. Dipti Prasad Mukherjee. We are delighted to introduce Dr. Dipti Prasad Mukherjee, a distinguished scientist and academician, currently serving as the Deputy Director of the Indian Statistical Institute ISI Kolkata and a Senior Professor of its Electronics and Communication Sciences Unit. With over 30 years of expertise in computer vision and multimedia systems, Dr. Mukherjee has authored 100 plus publications and contributed significantly to AI-driven visual technologies. His research covers surveillance, medical imaging, and HCI, and he's a key contributor to the Ideas Technology Innovation Hub. We will now be felicitating Dr. Mukherjee. Our next panelist for today is Dr. Devi Prasad Duari. We take great pride in welcoming Dr. Devi Prasad Duari, an eminent astrophysicist, educator, and science communicator. He currently serves as Director of the Institute of Astronomy, Space and Earth Science, Kolkata, and was formerly the Director of Research and Academics at the MP Birla Institute of Fundamental Research and Planetarium, Kolkata. Dr. Duari earned his PhD from IUCAA, Pune, under the mentorship of the renowned Professor Jayant V. Narlikar. His academic journey includes research at the University of Manchester and teaching roles at several international institutions. His core research spans stellar physics, quasar absorption lines, and molecular spectroscopy. Beyond academia, Dr. Duari is one of India's most respected science communicators with over 1,600 lectures, 350 TV appearances, and numerous educational books to his name. He is a fellow of the Royal Astronomical Society, a member of the International Astronomical Union, and a contributor to India's Technology Vision 2035. We will now felicitate Dr. Duari. Our third panelist for today is Dr. Gautam Kumar Paul. We are honored to welcome Dr. Gautam Kumar Paul, a distinguished academic and researcher in cryptology and quantum computation. He is currently Associate Professor and Head of the Cryptology and Security Research Unit at the Indian Statistical Institute, Kolkata. He previously taught at Jadavpur University's Department of Computer Science and Engineering from 2006 to 2013. His research covers stream cipher cryptanalysis, quantum cryptography, post-quantum security, and secure communication systems. A prolific author, he has been recognized with the Alexander von Humboldt Fellowship of Germany and the Young Scientist Award from the National Academy of Sciences, India. Since 2024, Dr. Paul is also serving as the Regional Coordinator of the Mathematics Olympiad for West Bengal region under National Board of Higher Mathematics, India. Till now, Dr. Paul has supervised 6 postdocs, 16 PhD theses, 24 master's theses, and more than 100 bachelor's projects. He has also authored 2 technical textbooks and more than 130 reference technical publications. So far, Dr. Paul has delivered more than 150 invited technical lectures, excluding conference paper presentations. Beside all technical expertise, Dr. Paul is well acclaimed as a motivational speaker. He has also delivered TEDx talks twice. Dr. Paul's work continues to shape the future of secure and quantum-resistant technologies. His presence at Quantum Qubit 2025 brings exceptional depth in both theoretical innovation and real-world application in the field of cyber and quantum security. We will now be felicitating Dr. Paul. Now, I would like to invite Shurdeep Sarkar, Student Head, Tech and Media, to continue with the introductions.
Our fourth panelist for today is Dr. Tanushyam Chattopadhyay. It is a privilege to welcome Dr. Tanushyam Chattopadhyay, Practice Head at Sirius Digitech, a joint venture between Adani India and International Holding Company. With over 23 years of experience in artificial intelligence, he has led strategic initiatives in product innovation, GTM planning, and stakeholder management, while also overseeing IP coordination and university relations for Adani Group. A renowned expert in AI and Gen AI, Dr. Chattopadhyay holds over 100 patents and has delivered numerous keynote addresses and authored 70 plus peer-reviewed publications and book chapters. He earned his PhD from Jadavpur University for research conducted at ISI Kolkata, began his career at ISI and later served as principal scientist at TSIS from 2004 to 2022. A gold medalist in MCA from IIEST, then known as DU, and the top-ranked graduate in physics from Vishwabharati. He has also trained at IISc Bangalore, IIT Kharagpur, and IIT Delhi with a focus on speech, image, and video processing. We now request Dr. Chattopadhyay to be felicitated by Reverend Father Rector. Thank you, Father. Our fifth panelist for today is Dr. Shuddha Shatta Sen. We are pleased to introduce Dr. Shuddha Shatta Sen, a pioneer in gastrointestinal hepatobiology, colorectal and oncological surgery in Eastern India. One of the region's earliest GI HPB colorectal and oncosurgeons since 2005, he became Eastern India's first certified liver transplant surgeon in 2006. A gold medalist in MBBS and MS, Dr. Sen topped the All India DNB General Surgery examination, ranking first from Bengal. He has served as chief, HOD, and director at leading hospitals including Apollo, Fortis, Amri, Medica, and Iris, and is renowned for performing bloodless, ICU-free surgeries with consistently high success rates. He is also a director of a health tech startup focused on AI, genomics, and predictive health, digital health. Dr. Sen brings unmatched surgical experience paired with a forward-thinking approach to healthcare innovation. We now request Reverend Father Rector to felicitate our esteemed guest. Thank you. Our sixth panelist for today is Mr. Indrajit Chaudhary. We are pleased to welcome Mr. Indrajit Chaudhary, a proud alumnus of Don Bosco School Park Circus and a final year dual degree student at IIT Kharagpur, pursuing a BTech in Manufacturing Science and Engineering and an MTech in Industrial Engineering, along with micro-specialization in AI. His academic work blends engineering fundamentals with advanced machine learning, applied across domains like meteorological, medical diagnostics, facial analysis, and energy systems. His current research, in collaboration with the Technological University of Denmark, explores interpretable scientific ML models for modern power systems. An emerging thought leader, he is passionate about using AI to solve real world problems with fairness and transparency. He will serve as a vital bridge between the next generation of innovators and the veterans of scientific thought. We now request Reverend Father Rector to felicitate Mr. Dr. Chaudhary. Thank you so much, Father. Now, I would like to request Herschel Pasari, Student Head Operations, to introduce our panelists who will be joining us online.
We now turn to the speakers who are joining us virtually. Though they aren't physically present with us today, their insights and experience remain integral to the discussion. Joining us online is Dr. Kaustav Chatterjee. We are honored to welcome Dr. Kaustav Chatterjee, a distinguished researcher in electrical and computer engineering. He completed his BE in electrical engineering from Jadavpur University, followed by an MTech from IIT Bombay, and earned his PhD from Penn State University in 2022. Dr. Chatterjee is currently a senior staff scientist at the Pacific Northwest National Laboratory under the US Department of Energy, where his work focuses on energy systems, grid resilience, and secure infrastructures through computational and systems engineering. Also joining us is Dr. Rolly Kasat. We are honored to welcome Dr. Rolly Kasat, a molecular biologist and biotech innovator, a biological engineering graduate from MIT. She earned her PhD in molecular biology from Northwestern University in 2008. Since 2019, Dr. Kasat has played a pivotal role at Tempus AI, a leader in precision medicine, where she has advanced from staff scientist to director in molecular assay development, contributing to breakthrough in diagnostics and personalized care. Our final panelist for today is Dr. Shubhra Ranjan Chakrabarti. We are honored to welcome Dr. Shubhra Ranjan Chakrabarti, a seasoned biotechnologist with nearly 3 decades of experience across industry, academia, and startups. He earned his PhD in biophysics and molecular biology from the University of Calcutta, followed by postdoctoral research on leukemia at Loyola University Medical Center, USA. Dr. Chakrabarti spent over 20 years at Shanta Biotechnics, leading work in vaccines, monoclonal antibodies, and recombinant therapeutics. In 2021, he was appointed Mission Director of the National Biopharma Mission at BIRAC and later served as Director of Operations, guiding national biotech innovation programs. He now heads technical operations at VJ Biosciences, a cell and gene therapy startup in Bangalore. I would now like to hand over the proceedings to Shoradeep Sarkar. Today's panel will be moderated by Mr. Abhilal Chatterjee, Program Chair, Scientific Affairs, and Mr. Sanchayan Kumar Ray, Program Chair, Technological Affairs. I request the moderators to take their seats.
Good morning, all of you. You must have got acquainted to the set of distinguished panelists, which are diverse, and their presence is global. And we are privileged to have them today in our panel. And our topic today will be India in 2047, 100 years after independence. How do we see ourselves in the future of science and technology? And we will start the proceeding. I ask Sir Abhilal Chatterjee to start the proceeding.
Good morning, everybody. science is the big backbone of the nation. So development of science means the development of the nation. So we are having the distinguished scientists, the eminent professors, and they are eminent doctors, and they are well established in the different fields. So I will request Dr. Devi Prasad Duari to say few words about the vision of India in the space and astrophysics. Dr. Duari.
A very good morning to all students, participants, teachers, faculty members, and the school itself, the Don Bosco. It's a matter of great pride and honor to stand before you today, especially amidst the galaxy of brilliant professionals, intellectuals, and also the future, whatever. They will be holding the future of the country in their hand and making them progress. So I feel very small in this and quite nervous. And this subject that we are supposed to be discussing is close to my heart, but also pivotal to our national destiny. Science and technology in India, Vision 2047. So as we move steadily toward the centenary of India's independence, we are at a historic crossroads, and it is very true, not just per se. Because in the last 20-30 years, taking the words from the heading of this particular meet, India has gone through a quantum leap in terms of scientific, technological, societal, economic, and other medical, other activities in the whole global scenario. So that India of 2047 will be shaped not by chance, but as mentioned, by vision, innovation, and the transformative power of science and technology. We have a scientific legacy. We all speak about hundreds, thousands of years back, there were these brilliant people who have contributed. But it was only in the post-independence era that the foundations for modern scientific institutions like ISRO, CSIR, IITs, university sectors, other institutes were created. And today, we have one of the best academic institutions in the world involving centers of excellence in S&T, and also probably the best human resource potential repository in the whole world. That is my personal belief. Our atomic energy programs, space missions, agricultural revolutions, cutting-edge research in basic and applied sciences, excellence emerging out of innovation, brilliant human resources are born from this vision. And India today, if you consider not only science and technology, it's a rising technology power. In 2025, India is already recognized as a global leader in space research, IT services, pharmaceuticals, digital infrastructures. We have launched mission to Mars and the Moon, developed world-class vaccines, and built platforms like Aadhaar and UPI that are admired globally. Our youth are leading the way in AI, robotics, blockchain, quantum computing, biotechnology. And you have to understand, more than over 1.2 million STEM graduates annually in India. We are building one of the world's most powerful knowledge ecosystem. If I take India to 2047 or Vision 2047 for the future, self-sufficiency in technology, clean and green India, AI and robotic-driven economy, space exploration and astrophysics research, healthcare, digital empowerment, scientific temper and research cultures. So these are the main focus thrust area. Why I'm saying this? Because starting from 2008, I was part of an exercise called Vision 2035. And you'll be amazed to know there were 8 sectors, major sector: infrastructure, educational technology, computational thing, medical. The whole focus was, the buzzword was, by 2035, every Indian should realize and discover his or her own potential. That is the most important aspect of that. It is not just by some computer-driven, technology-driven thing, but also the drive should come from inside, realizing who am I, what I can do, and what I should do. So I was asked to talk about a little bit of astronomy. This is the future of astronomy that is happening in India. Astronomy, by the way, is not just stargazing, right? It is the ultimate quest to answer the most fundamental questions. Where did we come from? What is our place in the cosmos? Are we alone? So India's journey in astronomy is not just about discovering stars. It's about inspiring minds, fueling imaginations, and uniting humanity through cosmic curiosity. Past, you all know about a little bit about Aryabhata, Varahamihir, and Jantar Mantar, and so on and so forth. But in modern times, a plethora of excellent institutions like Indian Institute of Astrophysics, TIFR, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, IUCA, Inter-University Center for Astronomy and Astrophysics, PRL, Physical Research Lab, IITs, some reputed universities, among others, and ISRO have carried the legacy forward. So India's current achievement, if you ask me in one line, ISRO, Chandrayaan, and Aditya mission. Indian Astronomical Observatory in Hanle, the giant meter wave radio telescope near Pune in Narayangaon, and the beginning of a big projects like through international collaboration like 30-meter telescope, LIGO India, and square kilometer array. You must have heard in 4 years back about the mega science project. We think India, is it really progressing? Just to give you an idea, in 2018, the then Prime Minister declared in the Lok Sabha about 7 mega science projects. Total projected budget around 17,000 crore rupees. And you'll be amazed to know 6 out of the 7 mega science projects are in astronomy and astrophysics. So India is leading the whole challenge to understand the cosmos. Next generation, I just named some telescope. You know, India is the place where they have just 2 years back started the largest liquid mirror telescope. It is so futuristic. And just to give you an idea, it is a big dish full of mercury. And that's a telescope mirror. So it cannot go like this. It takes the advantage of the Earth's spin to look into the sky. And the whole dish is spinning at a speed of 20,000 RPM so that the meniscus is an ellipsoid and works as a telescope. It has started just 2 years back. How many of you know the LIGO project, Laser Interferometric Gravitational Observatory, which was predicted 105 years back, but 105 years later, 100 years later, it was discovered by 2 fantastic observatories in US. But Indian input in data analysis, in infrastructure build-up, and in technology was such that LIGO decided the only international collaborator of LIGO projects in US will be India. And we have started the 3,700 crore rupee project in Maharashtra. The International Indian Neutrino Observatory, one of the marvel of its kind. But whatever, the future holds for astronomy. Next generation space telescopes. Just to give you an idea, 7 years back, we sent a small spacecraft called AstroSat, ISRO. Most of the satellites observing the cosmos are in single wavelength band, either X-ray or gamma ray or ultraviolet or infrared. Can you believe it? India, made in India, Atmanirbhar Bharat. The AstroSat carries 3 telescopes in UV, X-ray, and optical. One. No country has been able to do it because of the tremendous complex challenges in terms of the technology. Participation in global mega project that is going to happen and is happening. Development of astrotech startups. For example, space optics, data analytics, AI in astronomy, and educational platforms. Citizen science and astronomy education. You'll be amazed to know the white paper declared 4 years back by the Prime Minister on Technology Vision 2035 says the most key element of the progress of science and technology in India is astronomy and science education, communication. Not only science communication, technology communication. Unless and until the last person in the distant villages of the country understands what is happening, they cannot take part in it. So the whole thing doesn't become inclusive, and which is one of the focus. And obviously by 2035 to 38, Indian space station is supposed to be happening, and by 2040, India will land on moon. Prior to that, Mangalyaan 2, Shukrayaan, Lunar Polar Explorer, Chandrayaan 4, Gaganyaan 3, 4 and 5, everything is going to happen. So the whole issue is to create more interdisciplinary programs in astrophysics, engineering, data science, and most importantly, foster a culture of scientific curiosity among the youth. So, what is our cosmic responsibility? India's journey in astronomy is not just about, as I told you, stars, galaxies, planets. It is inspiring minds, fueling imagination, and uniting the humanity. So, as we look ahead to India 2047, let us ensure that our country is not exploring the moon and Mars only, but also leading the world in understanding the universe. Let us dream of an India where a child in a remote village can look through a telescope and say, I want to become a cosmic wanderer, and have every opportunity to become one. The universe is vast, but so is your potential. So it should be developed in an inclusive, globally leading way. And especially to my young friends, you are the driving force of 2047. Don't forget, more than 50% of India's population is under 30. This is not just a statistic, it is our greatest strength. Our youth will build India of 2047 with innovation, creativity, and courage. So we must focus on skill development, entrepreneurship, promote STEM education and scientific thinking, create infrastructure and world-class facilities to support research and quest for the unknown, and finally, encourage startup and a spirit of self-reliance. Let's not wait for Vision 2047 to happen. Let us create it. Because you spoke about futuristic. The next second is our future. So don't wait for 2047. Thank you very much for giving me a patient hearing. And I express my heartfelt best wishes for this program, not only to be successful, for this program to be spoken about, to be talked about in every corners of the scientific, educational, and student community in this city, in the state, and in the country. Progress is ours.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your motivational words to the future, those who are sitting over here in the auditorium. I now request Dr. Dipti Prasad Mukherjee, to the Deputy Director of ISI, to have a few words.
First of all, a very good morning. Reverend Rector, sir, my co-panelists, dear teachers and the participants. Right at the beginning, I must express my thanks to the organizers for inviting me to this event. I was not exactly sure when I was invited that what exactly I need to tell or express. But then I saw that theme, India in 2047, and that looks quite familiar to me. Maybe because of this campaign of Vikshit Bharat 2047. And then again, when I see your posters, when I see this quantum qubit, so I was trying to correlate between these two factors, the qubit, which is the units of quantum computing, where different states can be, superposed instead of two different binary states, 0 and 1, versus the theme of today's discussion, which is India in 2047. And then I thought maybe since quantum computing is maturing, is showing us different potentials, maybe that's the relationship with the theme of the panel discussion today. However, what I sincerely think is that there should be a role reversal in these panel discussions, at least for me. What I expect is that students should be in this place and I should be in the audience, because if something we need to imagine from India in 2047, it is these young students, young minds, they need to design, they need to fabricate the future so that they get an India in 2047 where they will be proud citizen of the country, they will be enjoying living in India in 2047, they will enjoy working in India in 2047. So overall, I think it would have been better if the students were at this side and we were listening to their thoughts, and we could get ideas from that. Okay, then, so as soon as the idea sinked in that I need to say something about India 2047, I think, I don't know about others, at least for me, the best resource is, of course, Professor Google. So you look at the Google, and since the Vikshit Bharat is always there everywhere almost now, I see the fantastic dashboard of the Vikshit Bharat, and I see the different government statistics over there, their parameters. What are the government schemes that is being implemented by every minute? What are the government initiatives, social sector initiative, economic sector initiatives? All these are getting displayed. But what I in particular going to miss there in the Vikshit Bharat is what exactly we'd like to achieve in if our objective is to see India in 2047. So that prompts me to think more about it, to think that India in 2047, what are those goal-driven parameters that we should look for? What are the social indicators? What are the economic indicators? What are the other different issues for which we should feel proud for India at 2047? Now, as Dr. Duwari has just said, the next minute is ours, and that same question comes to my mind immediately, like, why wait for 2047 to India becoming a developed nation? Why not tomorrow? Why not day after tomorrow? And then once we have a serious thought, what I can think of is that would be a quick hack. And really what we need is a kind of a sustained transformation that the country needs to go towards a developed nation at 2047. I'm really not sure how exactly we define the status today of our country. Are we in the border or threshold zone between the developing and the developed? But then it's for sure that one of the primary goal of the government projects is to declare ourselves as the developed nation in 2047, whatever maybe the parameters are. Having said that, I asked myself, what if my vision, my views in 2047? Well, to me, I think the single most important indicator that I would like to see this country, my beloved motherland, going to achieve is to move quite up in the happiness index of the countries. So I think many of you may know that every year happiness index is getting released, and we are not in a very good position in that list. About 130 countries are listed. I think in 2025 report, we are in the 118th position. So what should be our position in 2047? Mind it, these happiness indicators are a function of multiple factors. There are social factors. They calculate the equitable distributions of the gross domestic product. And if you think of the gross domestic product, that is being calculated based on the agricultural output of the country, industrial output of the country, scientific and technical know-how of the country. So all these factors are coming into the number or the score that is being given between 0 to 0 to 10, I guess. Then happiness indicator, which also gets reflected with the life expectancy of the population, how compassionate we are as a country, how compassionate, caring or sharing the community is. There is also a factor called perception of the citizens of the country towards this development, the systems. So perception to the corruption factor in the country. So all these are merged together and one figure, one number is being assigned. And very unfortunately, in 2025, our position is at 118th. So what I expect in 2047? I expect this should be within top 10. The India should be within top 10 of the happiness index of the country, of all the countries all over the world. Now, why is this a very magical number to achieve, that 10 from the current 118? So I would refer, especially the young minds here, to a fantastic book by Dr. R.A. Mashelkar. Dr. Mashelkar's books with one of his co-authors, the name is, I think if I'm not wrong, the name is Leapfrogging to Pole Vaulting, right? Of course, the context of the book is a little bit different, but we can actually borrow or steal that idea from Mashelkar's mind. And please remember the title, Leapfrogging to Pole Vaulting. So today from 2025 to 2047, to my understanding, to achieve a remarkable happiness index, we have to do pole vaulting. And what he defines as pole vaulting? He's saying, shun the incremental changes. Whatever you do, whatever, we are in science and technology, we are in education, we are in commerce, we are in social sector. Whatever we do, let us forget and shun the incremental changes. 10% change? No, I do not accept. 100% change? I do not accept. He says that at least think of 1000% changes. So you need to have a pole vault rather than, so you have to change your mind of these incremental changes or leapfrogging business to go towards a pole vaulting scenario. And I'm sure the youth today, with their intellectual bents of minds, the infrastructure that this country is having and already developing is the right catalysts to do this pole vaulting. Therefore, I urge you, and in fact, if I may say that in your thoughts and actions, in the days to come, please do pole vaulting. The young minds, please do the pole vaulting so that in every such sectors, we should achieve a remarkable improvement, something like, 1000% increment in our working scenario. Since I also come from a field which is related to science and technology, I would also at the same time remind you all about some of the remarkable projects that been going on in the country. And I think some of them at least are signatures of these remarkable changes. There is a fantastic project going on named as Vashini project. Vashini is a project initiated by the mighty the Ministry of Information Technology of Government of India to develop applications for multilingual translation. So we have so many languages, so many dialects, so many diversities. And we talk about unity in diversity. It is a hilarious, humongous task to have an application where you develop these translation instantly between these languages. So let's do the pole vaulting. Let's think of an application, a software, which will be in our hand by maybe next 5 years, where it could be easily translating our own languages, the languages that or dialects that are within this country. We are now fascinated by applications like ChatGPT, the generative AI. Unfortunately, in India, as on date, we do not have any infrastructure to train a system that can do Gen AI at the level of ChatGPT. Not even the latest version. There is no training facility available in India. What we do are simply a copy-paste applications. We copy the infrastructure, we copy the trained model, bring it down to our country, and we use it. Be it in the commercial space, be it in the research and development space, we do not have the capacity or capability to develop that infrastructure. So let's do pole vaulting. Let's do pole vaulting that by next 5 years, we should be having that infrastructure to build our own GPT. And in fact, there is already a government project in that line, Bharat GPT. And so these are some of the indicative projects that we have currently. The young minds here, I would request you, maybe the conference in the next 2 days, you will discuss, brainstorm on these ideas so that overall we achieve a remarkable scores in the happiness index of the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Mukherjee. And echoing your words that the students are the best, they hold the best place to be in this podium. We have designed this confluence in such a way that students get the most of the opportunity to explore. Unlike other places in this city, we have a very few of these events which are taking place for school students. So all the events are planned for these future generation. They are even including submission of research papers. Now, I invite one of the online panelists, Dr. Kaustav Chatterjee, just to share a brief idea about India in 2047.
First of all, I'd like to thank the school for inviting me to this excellent program for igniting young minds. I'd like to also thank the organizers as well as my esteemed panelists on this board. I think it's an immense privilege for me to be sharing my thoughts here with eminent scientists like Dr. Duari himself and Dr. Mukherjee. I come from a space where we talk about electricity and energy. So I thought that I should share some of my insights from that space and how India can really grow, or what are the potentials that we have, or how I see next 20 years leading to this centennial celebration of our independence. Now, when we talk about electricity and energy, we often seem to take it for granted because we do not see how complex or how complicated our systems are, from bringing in energy from its source to our delivery. So if a country like India has to make its mark, which it's already making in the world, it also has to think about its energy dominance and energy independence. And when I talk about energy dominance and energy independence, I do not only mean by production of enough amounts of energy, I also mean by its consumption. And when I talk of consumption, I also mean that it's a per capita consumption. We will always have communities in India who would be affluent to have access to enough amount of energy, but we also have to make sure that the energy is accessible, affordable, and available to remote parts of the country. And this will be the enabler for our economic growth. You cannot think of any application, any economic progress that does not use electricity. So this has to be our important contributor to that end. Now, when we make progress towards this, we also have to be careful and cognizant of the global climate change. And what I mean by this, that the energy sources have to be green and renewable. And it is my honor that, and also my happiness that India is making tremendous progress towards this. We have been building these huge facilities of solar plants and wind production facilities that would bring in this huge amount of green energy into our system. But there's also immense potential for energy growth in other aspects of this. The panelists before me have mentioned about Gen AI and computation that India is making important progress towards. If we have to build such infrastructure in India, it would mean that we have to create big data centers and load centers across our country where are these computational models, be it some form of Gen AI models would run. Now, these models, they take immense amount of energy, and these are in few hundreds of megawatts to even can scale up to gigawatts. So we are thinking about load centers that are in the centers like that are in the scales of few hundred megawatts to few gigawatts. So if we have to build these, and if these centers have to be provided with energy, then that infrastructure has to come. So there is immense potential for growth, not just in creation of, not just in generation of energy, but also in transmitting it from the source to it to the. Did I lose you? Hello.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So we can come back to you. I think some network issues are there. By that time, Abhilal sir will.
Medical science plays very important role, and if we as a human being, if we are not well, physically not fit, then it's a blockage. We can't work, we can't think. So it plays very important role, maybe sometimes from the front, sometimes from the behind. And medical science nowadays, the cutting edge technologies is completely related to physics, computer, chemistry. So I request Dr. Sen to say few words, what should be the vision in 2047, means where we are progressing, or what should be the fields that we should take care of. Dr. Sen.
Yeah, thank you so much. Am I audible? First, I would like to say thank you, and it's a great honor to be here in front of senior teachers, my bright co-panelists, and august delegation. So before I start into the question or the responsibility that has been given to me, I would be dealing with what are the prospects of healthcare or related industry in 2047. I would just like to say a few words for all the young minds out here. They are the future. So if you ask me what is going to happen in 2047 India, you all are happening. And that is the most important thing, because the future would be in your hands. Always be capable. I always tell everybody, this is what I had followed from my childhood. Be capable, enjoy the game. Whatever subject you choose, doesn't matter. Nothing is big, nothing is small. Enjoy the game, the trophies will come. And never stop dreaming, because yesterday's dreams are today's reality, today's dreams are tomorrow's reality, and that is going to be the reality of 2047. Now with this, let me tell you that we have had paradigm shifts. There were times when we didn't have an antibiotic. From there, we have antibiotics. When I was a student, all the surgeries were done open. Then we started doing laparoscopy. Now we are progressing into robotics. Now I am also an innovator. So I have had a lot of products which are running new innovations across the globe. So we always believed in what is called a predictive health. AI would come in big time. I believe a dream of a day when the drones would be up in the sky, not just to fly, but actually to carry passengers. There would be flying resorts. There would be floating continents. And these are all possibilities of physics, and we know of science. Now, what is going to happen to healthcare? It's already a very strong shift of healthcare industry. It is one of the fastest growing technologies amongst all the different professions. Artificial intelligence and genomics would go to that extent where it would be able to not only have a treatment. Now the world is shifting to preventive health. what we can foresee, it is going to go into predictive health. Predictive health would actually define the future of every child. We would be able to predict the diseases in the early stage. Even going further, maybe by 2047, we would be able to predict what are the likelihood of a child developing which form of diseases, what cancers. Genomics would help us in that. Artificial intelligence, quantum computers would analyze the data much faster. We would be having a prospective, retrospective data combination which analyzed. The analytics will go so strong. Our treatments will become much easier. We would be able to treat them even before the disease has started to go into bad form. The second point is automation, as we know, had already started. Robotics are coming in healthcare. So future is going to be a robotics, human, artificial intelligence interface. By 2047, robots may have replaced a lot of human workforce, but the humans would metamorphose and would go into using the robots. It's going to be a hand-in-hand combination. Children always believe that never fall or follow blindly any technology. Technology has to complement humans. So it has to be enslaved by humans. Humans cannot be enslaved by technology. Technology should ease our job, not replace us. So going by that, robotics automation will come up big time, but it is always going to be under human guidance. Some cases it will get some autonomy, and that is the future. The future will also go into 3D mapping more and biofabrication, so that the Spielberg's famous movie Bicentennial Man someday may become promising. As we know, China has already gone into it. I hear news is India is trying for it. 3D maps and biofabrication can create artificial organs which would make them easier to transplant into a patient. I am the first liver transplant surgeon of Eastern India. So now it is only cadaver or living donor, so you take it from a human. But tomorrow, when with artificial organs coming in, imagine the changes that can happen to the world. Imagine going to a phase where you're getting almost immortality, because any small thing can be dealt with medical science. The next in line, what is going to happen is a digital twin. A digital twin is I carry your genetic map, I imprint it on my AI system, I use different data analytics and go into a predictive model of what medicines, because yesterday was one medicine fits all, one surgery fits all. I was one of a very rebellious students in my childhood. I'm still considered to be a rebel in my medical fraternity because I dream. So I was very sure 20 years back that one fits all cannot be the future. It has to be a customized treatment. If the fingerprints are unique, you cannot have the same treatment for every patient. Today, the world is shifting into customized care, reactive to proactive health. And that is going to be the future in 2047. So it is, the genomics and the AI is going to handshake in such a way that we would be able to subcategorize patients according to their genetic mapping. According to their physical attributes, the phenotypes and genotypes, we would be able to choose and customize the treatment required for them. So as to the end point, the longevity and the quality of life increases. So it's going to be a generation of predictive health. Does not mean the old are not going to be there, but these are going to become the present and the future. Telemedicine and the treatment will become decentralized. Today, not all can afford or achieve all sorts of treatment, because everybody knows you have to come to a metropolis city. It will gradually become decentralized by virtual media support, telemedicine, by robotics, automation, AI. That necessity would be more in the periphery. So that entire population does not have a disbalance of reaching the treatment in time. It's not always a man that you need. It's always not an infrastructure that you need. You need the right guidance. So just like surgeries can be done in space by robotics, they would be started in the periphery, so that life for all becomes a reality. Right to live becomes a reality, which is not today. It is unfortunately still skewed. But what will come important, I'll keep it short, the lecture. Data privacy issues would also crop up in 2047. cyber attacks would increase. Obviously, the smart will metamorphose because change is the only thing permanent. And two things, we have looked at how healthcare is going to progress from treatment to preventive to predictive health, how AI, genomics, and automation and 3D mapping and digital twins and nanotechnology all are going to come up big time in 2047. But two things we need to be concerned about. A growth of the economy becoming this third or the second largest economy is based also on the GDP, which is low, and our population is growing. So probably the population will be a factor when it comes to 2047 in India. Because more the population, more will be the competition. And I had suggested to the government of India 10 years back in an email that we should be the first country to open a ministry of innovation. Let's utilize our population, our youngsters' brains, because innovation is the necessity is mother of all innovation, and this innovation are the father of all future. So with this, I'll rest it here. Thank you so much for having me here. But just one thing again to the children, you are you, we are we. Never compare yourself to anyone. None is bigger, none is smaller. Everybody will shine when their time comes in the subject of their passion. Even the sun shines in the daytime, not at night. So never get yourself compared to anyone who's doing what. You do your best, and trust me, God is watching. That is the best thing to do. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And I really echo your words about the kind of syllabus or the studies that we are having. Most of us in this, the young generation is studying very hard, very diligently for their dream jobs, which won't exist by the time they graduate, right? Because the world is changing so fast. And everything is oriented towards some kind of academic interest, which in the long run is going to be a bit difficult to achieve, because you can see the last 5 years, so many changes have happened. Post-COVID, so many changes have happened, which we could not ever imagine over there. So with this context, especially something related to the future, I invite Dr. Chattopadhyay to please share his viewpoints.
First of all, let me thank organizers to invite me here. Honorable father, parents, and my co-panelists, and my beloved students who are present here. Let me, you see that after my seniors like Professor Dipti Mukherjee and Dr. Duari speaking here and addressing you, I prefer to come here because I can see some of you with this bright light what I could not. And it seems that students, you can very easily map me like I'm coming to crease after, say, Virat Kohli and Mahendra Singh Dhoni. So they are like this in this field. So I'm coming to crease after them. So I may not fulfill your expectations as that's already said by, my previous speakers. So let me be very point oriented, that I'll speak about 3 points. That why India, why we need to think about Vision 2047 now. Second, what we need to do. And third, how we can achieve it. Okay, very point specific, because this is the generation where the Professor Dipti Mukherjee used to search in Google, but whenever it's all about you are searching in ChatGPT or Gemini. That's the quantum jump already happened. So why India matters? Professor Duari was mentioning the time of Aryabhata to now, Chandrayaan 3. So I see it like, not from science, from geography, you can also treat it as a science. I can see it's a train which started moving towards west at the time of Alexander, Julius Caesar, and it reached sometime to US. Now the train's next station is halted at China, and believe me, as the earth is moving, next station must be in India. And we must reach, the train will come to India in 2047, whatever be our index, whatever be anywhere. So why we need to focus on science? Why not only humanities? Because you know that still the highest degree is known as the Doctor of Philosophy, because somewhere philosophy is the ultimate destiny of science. And if you see that what is the fundamental message of science is that it is deeply rooted that out of boundless of geography, boundless of dogma. And that is the base of Indian philosophy. That's why I believe the science in the fundamental message of it is deeply rooted in the Indian ethos itself. That's why India matters. Next, what we need to do. Everyone spoke about the infrastructure. Let me divide the infrastructure in two parts. First, the buildings itself. Everyone is telling the future is AI, future is quantum computing, but do we have adequate infrastructure? Answer is no. What we need to build an infrastructure? We need, number one, some buildings. For data centers, we need adequate water for cooling. We need electricity. But fossil fuels are about to die. So what next? We have to emphasize, we have to focus on the green energy. That is the number one. Second, still now, if I ask all the students here, I know that 80 to 90% guardians will provoke their son or daughters to go to IITs. But after going to IITs, what they are going to do? They are going to some banking and finance, insurance sectors. It is absolutely wastage of human resources in India. We are not giving enough stress on fundamental physics, fundamental particles, fundamental biology, fundamental chemistry, fundamental mathematics. My next speaker might be Professor Gautam from ISI. He is heading that regional maths Olympiad. So are we really doing good in India? Answer is no. We are really lacking in fundamental sciences. Third, we are telling that we should have our own infrastructure, but still now we are relying on hardware bought from China. Do we have any of our hardware, cheap hardware infrastructure, any electronic developed? Answer is no. So we have to do it. And fourth one is that still now whenever we are running on any cloud, there is no sovereignty. All our data is going to Microsoft, Amazon and Google. We don't have our own cloud. We need to build it. Otherwise, all our efforts, all our brains will become Sundar Pichai or Satya Nadella, who will work for Microsoft and Google, and India will still think that how can we reach our, maybe another 50 years will require. So we need to think in this direction. Otherwise, again, brain drain will happen. And most important factor is that Indians are working in service companies for product development of abroad countries to get some money in return. Do we have adequate stress on our own intellectual property? Still answer is no. So dear students, if you ask me that what is future, these are the 5 points what we need to address. Now, the last point of mine is how to do. How to do, first point is that, very interestingly, Professor Deepti Mukherjee was talking about happiness index. So I'm just telling, just the numbers only I'm quoting here. India is in 118, we know. Nepal is in 92 and Pakistan is 108. I'm not telling anything more about the happiness index. Let me come to that why this thing happening. We are arranging quantum qubit sitting in absolutely, to be specific, maybe the higher middle class and the high class societies students are reaching here. Anyone sitting in a tribal village of Birbhum, from where I am belonging basically, or Jhargram knows anything about all these things? Answer is no. Can we put this quantum qubit to the every corner of India? Answer is no, no, no. So first thing, that light, what is the symbolically, we have started the initiation with the lighting, but can we carry this light to that remotest part of India? That is required, the first step we have to do. Otherwise, no mission, no vision is possible. Second, that values and ethics. Serious problem is that particularly maybe that, one interesting article I was reading from Gartner that how AI changed our human behavior. Very interesting article. You can also search in Google and you can get it. Values and ethics where we are seriously lacking. We love to work in silos. And we are absolutely lethargic in nature in comparison to the Japanese and in comparison to the the Korean people or even the Chinese. So I'm quoting one famous slogan from Kolkata football itself. So how to achieve? My suggestion for the students is always that dream big, work tirelessly. And last, I would conclude that for getting all these things done, remembering our past tradition and vibrant future, what we should do. That thing, let me read from my note that what we should do, and anyone who is good in Bengali or Sanskrit can later translate it into the other vernacular languages also. Let me read it. May we march forward with a common goal for all India, not for Don Bosco or some renowned 30-40 schools who are present here. May we march forward with a common goal. May we be open-minded and work together in harmony. May we share our thoughts for integrated wisdom. May we follow the example of our ancestors who achieved higher goals by virtue of being united. Thank you. And I know with that, I can conclude with the catchline of my own organization, Hum Karke Dikhate Hai, or translated in English, let's get it done. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Really, the young generation over here, the students are the torch bearers who will carry the flame to the remotest part of the country, and then only we can say that we are actually a developed country, right? And we are using this. Otherwise, most of us can feel important just by using ChatGPT and getting the solutions as of now. You have to understand the skill set that is required develops from within. I now invite Dr. Gautam Paul to address these young minds.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Reverend fathers, teachers, parents, guests, dignitaries on the stage, and students. My previous speakers have already elaborated on different aspects of current India and futuristic India, both the pros and cons. So I would not repeat the points that have already been mentioned. I would like to add maybe one or two more. So currently, India is at a very interesting juncture. The name of this conference begins with quantum, right? So if we look at quantum technology, United Nations have declared 2025 as the International Year of Quantum on the occasion of 100 years of quantum mechanics, which began with Heisenberg's famous quantum mechanics work in 1925. So Indian government has also launched National Quantum Mission in this year, which aims to last for 5-6 years with many thousand crores of budget to foster indigenous quantum research. Also, in the domain of information security, India is leading the world. We also see startups and innovations coming up. So nowadays, you see that engineering freshers or even school kids are building companies. Already in the space front, Dr. Duwari has mentioned that a lot of things are happening, a lot of missions are happening. Few days back, I was reading an article that there are space startups which are working jointly with ISRO, and NASA is outsourcing manufacturing satellites to them. So they are going to be built in India with Indian technology. In the medical field also, we heard a lot of progress is happening. And beyond quantum also, there is something called post-quantum. So we assume that even the hackers and the attackers have quantum technology, not only the people who are using technology. So how to prevent them? So now, when quantum is yet to come or just coming, we are talking about post-quantum also, and India is putting its footprint there as well. But with all this, with the digital revolution, with quantum revolution, with AI revolution, we are all focusing on technology, science, digitization, information technology, etc. But there are other subjects, other disciplines, other fields, for example, arts, for example, agriculture, social science, human values. These things also must be taken together along with science and technology. So progress in science not only means the particular core subjects of science, but scientific thought, scientific approach. So whatever be the discipline, whatever be the subject, we should incorporate the scientific analytic approach, scientific discovery approach, and scientific questioning approach, that whatever I'm doing, is it right or not? So if we have this view, then in 2047, we have hope that India will lead the world scientifically, not only in the domain of science and technology, but also in all other domains, because it's a cohesion, it's a together, all the subjects, all the disciplines together that are going to be developed. And I also thank Don Bosco School and its administration to organize such an event, such a conference. You are setting an example. This model should be followed by other schools, because from the school, this is the foundation. From the school, good students will come up. They will be the future innovators of the country, future industrialists of the country, and the future torchlight bearers of the country. So, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We have panelists all across the globe also. Some are actually technically facing some issues. We move over to Dr. Roli Kasset to address us on this topic of India in 2047. How do you see India from abroad, ma'am?
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me. Excited to be here, hear from everyone, speak to the students as they're thinking about what the future can hold. My background is in biology, so I think, the things that I would want to say would echo a lot of what Dr. Sench said, about predictive medicine in the future. Making medicine smarter, because as we have more data, AI kind of incorporating all of that, that's what my company currently does as well. But I think in India, and this was touched on a few of the other panelists, that a big challenge is just how big the country is, and we don't want these resources to come only to those who can afford it, who live in the cities. So I think, in my mind, in the next 20 years, what should be happening is making this more affordable. We need innovations to make these cool technologies at scale and affordable prices to make them accessible. And, as a few people have already mentioned, the people in this room, the students in this room, these are the people who can do this. You see what the resources are, what you can do. Excited to kind of see more of this discussion and learn from all of you. I know we're running a little over, so I'll keep it short, but happy to be here.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for giving your such valuable feedbacks. Now, Indrajit, actually, we used to call Indrajit, and still he is Indrajit, because a student is always a student. So now he has grown up, but still he is our student. So as most of the panelists, they said, India's future lies on the young generations. So he is our young generations. So I'll tell you how you see India, means what are the changes that you want to make so that technologically we can advance. Maybe we may be the world's one of the best country. Like today you are over here. It may happen after 3-4 years you may be abroad. But tell me certain things that we need to change where people will come from abroad to work such our prestigious institutions like ISCs. That is a pioneer. Different medical institutions like AIMS, the IITs. So what should be the changes required such that there is no human resource that is going to abroad. Instead of that, we are getting back to them.
Well, thank you so much, sir, for inviting me to be a part of this esteemed panel. Let me just start by saying very quickly, let us go 20 years back and think about it. Did we ever think that India would be where it is today, especially on the technological front? Take, for example, UPI, the volume of transactions happening through UPI every day. Where we are with respect to, say, things like Digi Yatra, which has simplified the procedure before boarding flights. So these are advancements which we possibly did not even fathom that we would be doing today. So then what stops us from setting very high goals for ourselves for 22 years in the future? That is 2047. So next, let me just state my goals as such, which I would envision India, which I would think should be prioritized by us as the younger generation, as we are being referred to here. So first of all, we can be number one in science and technology, which I think the US and China are the biggest innovators in terms of, primarily in terms of technology. But if you think about it, it's not very unrealistic, because the mathematical Olympiad, for example, the American team consists of many people who are of Indian origin. So it's not entirely unrealistic that we can also be at the same level as them. So I can understand that these goals might seem ambitious, considering the state that we are in now. But yeah, as I was saying, I think it's quite necessary for us to think big and just take some kind of steps at least towards that goal. And then I'll also just talk about one conference in machine learning that I was just reading about a few days ago. So according to their statistics, India ranks far below the US and China and some European countries in terms of the number of scientific articles published. So if the US was, I think, some 25 or 30%, followed by China at 20%, and India was, I think, 2 or 3% of the total number of articles submitted for that conference. So ideally, I would like that number to be far higher in 2047, especially as the other esteemed panelists were speaking about India becoming a developed nation, as our Honorable Prime Minister has also laid out a set of a plan to achieve that goal. So I've just spoken about some very ambitious goals, possibly also going up the happiness index to the top 10, as sir was saying. But then how do we go about achieving it? So I think a very important part of it is the education system, how we are supported from our school days, right from our school days. And I'll just compare it to Europe, because I was speaking about how they are advancing very rapidly. So I think it's only good for us that we take inspiration from them. So their students are very highly encouraged to pursue their passions. So as Doctor was saying here, that we should also be encouraged to do whatever suits us. We should enjoy what we are studying. But the problem is that we often do not get that scope here in India. So I would like that the situation is definitely changing, I think. Nowadays, there are more number of opportunities for us to pursue things that we like. A very good example is this confluence right here. But the education, so while we would be the ones thinking about the innovation, we would obviously have the guidance of all of our seniors and mentors here. So, which is also which very important, I think. But yeah, if we follow our passion, that is because people do not get to follow their passion. That I think is a very that is very detrimental to many of our students. So they become forced to do something that their parents or teachers might enforce upon them, which is probably not in their best interests. So and it is not only about AI. So technology also means you can perhaps design a innovative design for the wing of an airplane, for example. So it is not only AI that we need to advance, but across all sectors, if we advance, that is what would make us a developed nation. And so if you follow your passion, that is, if you get the opportunity to follow your passion, I have myself faced this problem that in India, grades are given too much of importance, which I think is not very useful, but others might disagree with me. But I think this can be an application of AI, because we are talking about AI, that how can we evaluate other parameters as well? Because I understand their perspective as well, because just looking at someone's grade is a very quick way to judge them, and they do not have to work too hard on other parameters like their background or what they are interested in. But that can be something that AI can do, especially since we are relying on AI for almost everything. But yeah, I think that is about it that I will speak about. And lastly, I'll just conclude by saying I'm very happy that such an event is taking place. I'm even more happy that it is DBPC that has started it. And I'm very glad to be back here. And well, I won't take too much more time because I'm very excited for the other events as well. And I wish all the young ladies and gentlemen here the very best. And I'm looking forward to learn from you guys as well in the other events that will be happening today and tomorrow. Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you, Gen Z Indrajit, for giving his. I know there are a few Gen Alpha, Beta, Delta, Gamma. I don't know which generation people are sitting over here. So all those are role models for your future generations, right? So I think since he was talking about AI, I know about one incident where one teacher asked a class where, how many of you have done this through AI? And there were few people who raised their hands. And then the teacher replied, yeah, the questions were also made using AI, ChatGPT, right? So it's now AI versus AI. We are just middlemen over there. We have no role to play. It's AI fighting versus AI. If we do not intercept right now, then it will be too late. I think the days which are coming will be a bit scary. Tsunamis are going to come, not in reality through the job market or through any future aspect, but we have to stay above that tsunami level. We now invite, I think the network is restored right now? Yes. So we now invite Dr. Shubhro Chakraborty from Bangalore. So he is also present as an eminent panelist. We have introduced him before. So, sir, could you please?
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for inviting for this, excellent event. Thanks to Reverend Father, all our panelists, students, and of course, the person who called me first is Mridul Shumani. I'd like to thank to bring me back. Almost 3 decades being outside West Bengal. We always love to go to the roots where we came from, and then at least share our journey so that people can learn, can think of what would be the future. And we are talking of the future here today with all the eminent panelists that they have described different areas, including healthcare, engineering, space, astronomy. We went to every directions, and I think there is an excellent future. Going ahead with respect to as the topic is India 2047. So as we all know that I think we have there is a target already been defined, the 2047. It's economy of 1 trillion. That is the target that we need to, look into. And of course, being in biotech industry for such a long time, and also being part of some of the, some time during the government, my role in the government with respect to different policies. So bioeconomy plays a very important role, and that's the reason I think last year Department of Biotechnology has come up with Bio E3 policy. It is the biotechnology for economy, employment, and environment. So definitely, I mean, as we are talking about the health is not only our health, it is the health of the animal, health of the environment, because that is also we have to look for. 2070, I think zero emission, that was the carbon emission, that was the target that has been set by Prime Minister and Government of India that we need to achieve. So definitely there are plenty of things that need to be done, and okay, how we go ahead for this. Maybe I will just briefly explain a few of the things, and most of the topics we have discussed, but with respect to biotechnology, maybe I will focus few areas. So the key direction should be like what we talk about, the circular bioeconomy. So circular bioeconomy is a sense that you reduce the waste, so you don't generate more waste, which is the harmful for the environment. So we need to have those kind of technologies where there could be the circular way, so we can reuse the material that we are producing. Of course, the technology revolution that we need, the pole vaulting with respect to the technology evolution and integration of the technology. So it's not biotechnology alone that can do it. As we have also learned from other speakers, with respect to we are excelling in the space technology, we are excelling into the IT sector, we are excelling in pharma. So all of them has to come together. And I will just give one example of, I was in one of the conferences in US in 2022. So one Japanese guy came and we had a stall from Department of Biotechnology. So one Japanese guy came and gave me a flyer saying that we are actually sending samples to space. So would you like, are you interested to send any of the samples to space? So I was wondering that what I'm going to do sending sample to the space. No, you can do some research. So I came back and I was looking into the work that people are doing. I mean, ISIS is there where we know that, with Sunita Williams was stuck there for quite a long time. And the work that is going on with respect to the biology is amazing. The institutes, the major companies, the drug discovery are now moving into the space. And there are certain benefits. I'm not going into detail on those benefits. What are the benefits if we do the research in space? But when I came back to India, and unfortunately, I've been to another conference which was organized by the Space Congress in India. And I saw the same Japanese guy in India, and he was talking with one of the startup who is in Bangalore, and they are also setting up a lab in Gaganayan along with the ISRO. So I think we are already there. I mean, we are doing things. So this need to be escalated. This need to move to every corner of India. And that is what this conference should bring. That okay, what are the things happening in elsewhere in India? I think we should see a replication that is happening in West Bengal. I mean, we do not see much with respect to the the newer areas or the hearing that we hear from outside, sitting outside West Bengal. But we would love to do that. We spoke about the innovation. Innovation is one of the. I mean, right now it is called the open innovation, because it is not that you can do it everything by yourself. One institution, one organization, you cannot do everything by yourself. So the innovation has to be open, so there has to be more collaboration. And I think this is what is required. And what I see from other states like Telangana, if you go to Telangana, there is a Telangana, the cluster, innovation cluster they have created. So they integrate a lot of organization, institutes, companies into the cluster so that the innovation can be discussed. Similarly, we have it in Bangalore, that is there in Mumbai, in other cities as well. Maybe we can evolve these kind of things in Calcutta as well, bringing all the students, those who can actually benefit from this one. So coming into this, as we know, the talent, if we talk about nurturing the talent, The best talent, honestly speaking, we get it from West Bengal. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I think everybody in the panel can echo with my voice that if we go across anywhere in India, I think the best talents we get from West Bengal. And I think we need to put more opportunities for these talents. And there are opportunities. Biology is a very vast area. Today itself, I think there was a statement by NVIDIA CEO. He keeps on talking on different topics. So he today said, I think echoing one of the speakers' comment that I think it is not only the computer science that we need to target. It is physics, chemistry, math, biology, that everything we need to go through and integrate them together, because it is required. I mean, that is what the future is. Coming to the another very important topic that I think we need to think about it is with respect to the food security, like the population density, that is the way it is growing. I think in future, I mean, there will be a serious concern with respect to the amount of space we have for the agriculture, since the agriculture is not gone into the very highest technology platform. Maybe in that area, there is a lot of scope to improve. People are now producing food, which is called the smart food, in the laboratory, in the industrial scale, in the bioreactor. So I think these are the areas that we need to go. Our biodiversity in India is so vast, and there are a lot of things to still to explore. I mean, I'll just give one example. I think those who are in the biology field, they know there is a technology called CRISPR and Cas. So CRISPR and Cas, this enzyme or this technology has actually created a revolution with respect to the precision medicine or the gene therapy, right? So you use the CRISPR and Cas technology. So this was discovered very recently. I mean, it is not very far away. 2012 was the overall, although 1987, the repetitive sequence of the CRISPR has been discovered. But CRISPR-Cas technology was discovered in 2012. 2020, I think they got the Nobel Prize. So, and even more to explore, to understand, because we do have huge biodiversity. As per the Bio-E3 policy, we're also exploring marine, because we have a vast coastline, and the marine has many of the diverse, what I'll say, with respect to the microbe, with respect to the biological resources, those which you can explore. And I think these are the things that we can put into the mind of the children who are growing, and they can explore further, bring more innovation, and we can take the economy where we have targeted around 1 trillion in 2047. So with this, I will stop. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your valuable feedbacks. So, this is the end of our programs. That we thought that we'll be getting some more extra times for the students, but actually it was so intense, and it's such a vast field of science, technology, computer, medical field. So 1.5 hours or 1 hour is nothing. If you keep on discussing, it will go hours and hours, but our time is very limited. But from the bottom of my heart, I would like to convey my heartfelt gratitude to all the panelists on and offline, that they are giving their valuable times, feedbacks. Actually, it is the students who are getting the benefit. It's the vision for all of us to make India a better India. Thank you very much.
At this onset, the moment that we were waiting for is the release of the research journal, right? So we had, as a part of our experiment, we'll call it an experiment. We don't dare to take research papers because we are not eligible enough perhaps to take, but we have made sure that the students get an opportunity or a platform to basically present whatever original ideas they have. And we had a reputed panel across the globe where maybe our ex-students or eminent panelists, I think one of them is present in the auditorium too today, right? So they have evaluated, and it was an overwhelming response from the different schools the participants that they submitted their original ideas. So I would request the participants who have received the notification for selection of their articles, can you please come up on side stage? We had Orkodeb Sengupta, Chayan Bhaumik, Pronoy Roy, all PhDs in different parts of US, UK, France, Germany. They are into these kinds of fields. We had given them for reviewing the research papers. Udit Shurjo Shaha, Snigdhodev Roy, Piyush Daga, who is present over here today, and K. Sharma from France. So they have evaluated our papers, and we have got a list of successful people who have qualified for our first research journal, the Quantum Compendium. We are calling it Chapter 1. Now I request Father Rector to come up on stage and inaugurate the first version of the research journal. This is a journal which is the mirror of young minds. So, ladies and gentlemen, students, please give a round of applause for the unveiling of our first research journal published by Don Bosco Park Circus, the Quantum Compendium. Now I request Father to have a picture with the panelists, and now we will have the distribution of scrolls as well.
Now it is time for one of the most awaited moments of today's function. Scrolls will be presented to our young researchers whose names feature in the list of ratified submissions for Quantum Compendium 2025. I would like to request Dr. Dipti Prasad Mukherjee, sir, to present the scrolls. To Master Arhat Chattopadhyay of Calcutta Boys School. Arhat, let us put our hands and clap for Arhat Chattopadhyay. Okay, Arhat is right now not in the auditorium, so we next call Master Adrito Bandopadhyay of Calcutta Boys School. Next is Miss Oisha Ahmed of Delhi Public School, New Town. Next we have Master Aryaman Sharkar of Delhi Public School, New Town. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I would now request Dr. Debi Prasad Duari, sir, to present the scrolls to our following recipients. Master Arhan Mohapatro of Delhi Public School, New Town. Next, Master Arjun Roy of Garden High School. Miss Upashana Shaha of Modern High School for Girls. Miss Ashavari Sahai of same school, Modern High School for Girls. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I would now request Dr. Gautam Kumar Paul, sir, to present the scrolls to the following recipients. Miss Vania Jain of Modern High School for Girls. Next, we have Miss Anushka Bardhan of Modern High School for Girls. Miss Rajanno Mojumdar of Modern High School for Girls. Master Ankit Das of National James High School. And Master Shitangshu Shekhar Manna of National James High School. Thank you, sir. I would now like to call up on stage Mrs. Atri Chaudhary to continue with the proceedings.
Thank you, Shravani ma'am. For the next set of presentation, Dr. Tanusham Chattopadhyay sir will be handing over the scrolls to Ms. Annesha Shah of Pratt Memorial School. Ms. Sana Abbas of Our Lady Queen of the Mission School, Salt Lake. Master Aparajit Kapuria from St. James School. And Ms. Shinjini Datta from Salt Lake School. Thank you, sir. Now it is my pleasure to request Dr. Shuddho Satya Sen to present the next set of scrolls to Master Shoham Mukherjee of St. Paul's High School. Ms. Kaushani Roy of St. Paul's High School. Ms. Divyanka Shaw from Sri Shikshayatan School. And Master Abhay Poddar of Don Bosco School, Park Circus. At present, he is not in the auditorium. Thank you, sir. Now, our last panelist for the day, Mr. Indrajit Chaudhary, will hand over the scrolls to the next set of awardees. Okay. The awardees are Master Anubhav Chakraborty from Don Bosco School, Park Circus, who is also not present in the auditorium now. Master Shorodip Sarkar, again from Don Bosco School Park Circus. Master Sharnodip Mitra from Don Bosco School Park Circus. So he is also not present at the auditorium at present. And lastly, Shomodip Shamanto, also from Don Bosco School Park Circus. So I believe he is also not present in the auditorium. I would like to request Master Arhat Chattopadhyay of Calcutta Boys School to please come onto the stage and accept his scroll. Thank you, sirs. I would like to sincerely thank our esteemed guests for their valuable time and enlightening insights. Thank you so much. Thank you.